my friends and companions, eager seekers of enchantment, join me on a journey into the tapestry of fables and folklore, where the threads of fantasy and reality entwine. As the golden hues of day surrender to the velvety embrace of night, and the stars illuminate the canvas of our dreams, let your imagination take flight in the wondrous tale of the Pied Piper of Hamelin. Close your eyes and envision a quaint town nestled along the banks of the Weser River, a town where the ordinary and the extraordinary converge. In the heart of this story lies an enigmatic figure, known far and wide as the Pied Piper, whose arrival in Hamelin would forever change the course of its history. The Piper, with his colorful attire and hauntingly melodious pipe, is about to weave a spell over the town, offering a promise to rid it of a plague of rats that has cast a shadow over its idyllic streets. But as we shall see, promises are made to be kept, and the consequences of betrayal can be both profound and mysterious. As we delve into the heart of this tale, may you feel the haunting notes of the piper's pipe, the tension that mounts as promises are broken, and the eerie silence that descends when the piper seeks his revenge. Let the moonlight guide your imagination through this legend, and may it leave you with questions, reflections, and a sense of wonder. In The Pied Piper of Hamelin, we discover the age-old lesson of trust, consequences, and the enduring power of folklore. So, dear listeners, as you embark on this nocturnal sojourn through the world of the Pied Piper, may you find intrigue, contemplation, and the fascination that great stories bring. Until the dawn breaks and you awaken to new horizons, may your dreams be filled with tales of mystery and music. Sweet dreams. In the quaint town of Hamelin, nestled along the banks of the Weser River, life had always been idyllic. Cobblestone streets wound through charming cottages, and the laughter of children echoed in the cobbled squares. The townspeople were known for their close-knit community, where harmony and tranquility thrived. However, this peaceful existence had been abruptly shattered by a plague of rats that infested every corner of the town. The once harmonious town was now gripped by by an unsettling unease. The rats scurried through the streets, gnawing on food stores, contaminating water sources, and spreading disease. Fearful whispers filled the air, and sleepless nights became the norm as the townspeople grappled with this vermin invasion. The once bustling marketplaces were now deserted, and joy had been replaced by despair. The promise of Hamelin's prosperity was fading fast, replaced by an ever-deepening shadow of dread. As weeks turned into months, the rat problem in Hamelin escalated beyond imagination, and the desperation of the townsfolk reached a fever pitch. Every corner, every crevice seemed to teem with the furry menace. It was as if the very heart of the town had been devoured by these relentless rodents. Traditional methods of dealing with rat infestations proved hopelessly ineffectual. Traps were laid out in abundance, but the rats had become cunning, evading capture with astonishing agility. Cats, the natural enemies of rats, were overwhelmed and outnumbered. Poisoned bait, rather than solving the problem, led to the gruesome sight of dead and dying rats littering the streets, their pungent stench adding to the town's misery. The townspeople, their patience and resources drained, were left with no choice but to face the grim reality that Hamelin was on the brink of ruin. Food was scarce, and the risk of disease loomed. Urgently, they sought a solution, a savior who could free them from this nightmarish plague that had descended upon their once peaceful town. In the darkest hour of Hamelin's despair, a mysterious figure arrived, stepping into the town square like an enigma wrapped in shadows. This enigmatic character, known as the Pied Piper, was unlike anyone the townsfolk had ever encountered. The Pied Piper was a tall, lean man with an air of otherworldliness about him. His clothing was as colorful as a rainbow, adorned with a patchwork of brilliant, mismatched hues that seemed to dance in the dappled sunlight. His hat, wide-brimmed and adorned with a single peacock feather, cast a shadow that concealed his eyes, adding an element of intrigue to his appearance. But it was his pipe that truly captivated all who beheld him. Crafted from a polished, glistening wood, the pipe seemed to shimmer in the sunlight. When he raised it to his lips, the first haunting notes that spilled forth were like a serenade from the very depths of the soul. It was a melody that held a bewitching power, capable of stirring emotions hidden deep within the heart. As the townspeople gathered around, their initial reactions were a mixture of astonishment, curiosity, and hope. They had never seen such an individual, and the mere presence of this Pied Piper seemed to lift the heavy weight of despair that had settled upon their shoulders. Whispers of anticipation and wonder spread through the crowd, and their gazes remained fixed upon the man who had come seemingly out of nowhere, bearing a promise of deliverance from their rat-infested nightmare. The arrival of the Pied Piper had not gone unnoticed by the town's leaders, who quickly sought an audience with this enigmatic savior. The town's mayor, a stout and apprehensive man, along with a council of concerned elders, approached the Pied Piper in the town square. Their voices trembled with a mix of hope and skepticism as they addressed the man who held the town's fate in his hands. With an air of quiet confidence, the Pied Piper made his audacious proposal. He offered to rid Hamelin of the rat infestation, promising a solution that no one had ever considered. His terms were clear but unconventional. In exchange for his services, he asked for a handsome reward of 1,000 gold coins. The townspeople, desperate for salvation, found themselves in a precarious situation. The sum was exorbitant, and the mayor and council members hesitated, deliberating the cost of this unusual proposition. But as they glanced at the swarm of rats that continued to infest their once beautiful town, gnawing at their very livelihood, they knew that they had no choice but to agree. Reluctantly, with trembling hands and anxious hearts, the town's leaders accepted the terms of the agreement. The Pied Piper's mesmerizing music would lead the rats away from Hamelin, and in return, he would receive the promised gold coins once the town was free from the vermin. With a solemn nod, the Pied Piper agreed, and the deal was sealed. Hamelin held its collective breath, hoping against hope that this mysterious stranger would deliver on his promise. With the agreement struck, the Pied Piper wasted no time. He raised his extraordinary pipe to his lips and began to play a haunting, ethereal melody that seemed to resonate with the very soul of the town. The notes were both melancholic and enchanting, carrying a mesmerizing quality that defied description. As the haunting tune filled the air, something miraculous began to happen. Rats of all sizes and colors emerged from their hiding places, their beady eyes fixed on the Pied Piper, as if drawn by an irresistible force. They scurried and scuttled, following the Piper's every step, as if they were bewitched by his music. The sight was nothing short of extraordinary. The Pied Piper, still playing his enchanting melody, led the vermin through the winding streets of Hamelin. A seemingly endless procession of rats trailed behind him, creating a bizarre and surreal spectacle. The townspeople watched in awe and disbelief as their tormentors, the very source of their misery, were drawn away by the haunting strains of the Piper's pipe. Finally, the Pied Piper reached the banks of the Weser River, where the rats, still entranced by his music, plunged into the water one by one. The townspeople watched as the river swallowed the horde of rats, their furry bodies disappearing beneath the dark, churning waters. Relief and jubilation washed over Hamelin like a tidal wave. the once dreary town square erupted into a cacophony of cheers and applause. The people danced and embraced, their faces aglow with newfound hope. It seemed that the Pied Piper had indeed worked a miracle, and the town's torment had come to an end. But little did they know that the true mystery of the Piper was yet to unfold. As the days passed, and Hamelin reveled in its newfound freedom from the rat infestation, the Pied Piper returned to collect the fee that had been promised to him. He had upheld his end of the bargain, and now it was time for the townspeople to honor their commitment. However, when the Pied Piper approached the town's leaders to claim his reward, he was met with unexpected resistance. The mayor and council members, once so desperate for his help, now argued that they should not have to pay such a steep price. They cited the relief they felt, the restored prosperity of the town, and their belief that the threat of the rats was overblown. Tensions began to mount between the Pied Piper and the townsfolk. The mood that had been jubilant and hopeful turned sour. The Pied Piper, his eyes hidden beneath his wide-brimmed hat, felt a growing sense of betrayal. He had fulfilled his part of the agreement, and now he found himself faced with the townspeople's refusal to compensate him as promised. The dispute grew more heated with each passing moment, as the townspeople, emboldened by their sense of security, stood firm in their decision not to pay the piper. The atmosphere in Hamelin, once filled with joy and relief, was now tainted by bitterness and mistrust. It seemed that the town's troubles were far from over, and the true consequences of the broken promise were yet to be revealed. Frustrated and angered by the town's refusal to honor their agreement, the Pied Piper decided to take matters into his own hands. He returned to Hamelin, but this time his intentions were far from benevolent. He carried a different tune on his pipe, one that was haunting in a different way. As the eerie melody filled the air, a chilling transformation came over the town. Doors creaked open, and windows swung wide, as if compelled by an invisible force. The townspeople, whether they wanted to or not, found themselves following the haunting music, much like the rats had done before. But this time, it was not the townspeople who were lured away. Instead, it was their children. Helpless and bewildered, the young ones were drawn out of their homes, their eyes vacant, and their movements entranced by the Pied Piper's music. They followed him, one by one, as he led them away from Hamelin. The horror that gripped the town was palpable. Parents cried out in anguish, chasing after their children, but they were powerless to stop the inexorable procession. The Pied Piper's revenge was swift and cruel, leaving the townspeople with a heart-wrenching emptiness that could never be filled. Despair and grief settled over Hamelin like a shroud. The once thriving town was now a ghostly echo of its former self, its streets echoing with the lamentations of parents who had lost their beloved children. The price of the broken promise was paid in the most heart-wrenching way, and the consequences of their actions haunted Hamelin for generations to come. With the haunting melody still echoing through the air, the Pied Piper led the children of Hamelin away from the town. Their path took them deeper into the countryside, and as they followed him, they passed through a dense forest shrouded in twilight. The journey led to the entrance of a mysterious cave hidden amongst the ancient trees and gnarled roots. The Pied Piper continued to play his haunting tune, and one by one, the children entered the cavern, their footsteps fading into the darkness. As the last child disappeared into the depths of the cave, the entrance sealed itself shut, leaving no trace of the Pied Piper or the abducted children. Hamelin was left in eerie silence, broken only by the anguished cries of the parents who had lost their little ones. The chapter concludes with a profound sense of unresolved mystery. The fate of the children and the true nature of the Pied Piper's intentions remain enigmatic. The townspeople are left to grapple with the consequences of their broken promise, haunted by the loss of their children and the enduring sense of guilt that hangs over the town like a shadow. The chapter leaves readers with a burning desire for answers, while hinting at the lasting impact of the Piper's actions on Hamelin, a legacy that would echo through generations, ensuring that the tale of the Pied Piper would endure as a cautionary and enigmatic legend. As we delve deeper into the enigmatic story of the Pied Piper of Hamelin, it's essential to take a moment to reflect on the significance of this enduring legend. The tale of the Pied Piper has captured the imagination of generations, and its themes continue to resonate with us today. One of the key elements of this legend is the idea of broken promises and the consequences that can follow when trust is betrayed. The townspeople of Hamelin made a solemn agreement with the Piper, but reneged on their promise, leading to the devastating loss of their children. This aspect of the story serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of honoring one's commitments and the potential repercussions of failing to do so. Additionally, the Pied Piper's use of music to both charm and control the rats, and ultimately the children, raises questions about the power of art and persuasion. It prompts us to consider the ways in which music and other forms of expression can influence and shape our decisions and actions. The unresolved mystery at the heart of the legend leaves us with a sense of wonder and curiosity. What were the Piper's true motives? What became of the children? These unanswered questions invite us to ponder the complexity of human nature and the mysteries that can exist in our world. Ultimately, the Pied Piper of Hamelin is a cautionary tale that explores themes of trust, consequences, and the enigmatic nature of life itself. It continues to captivate our imagination and challenge our understanding, reminding us of the enduring power of folklore and the stories that have been passed down through the ages. As we reflect on this legend, we are encouraged to seek deeper meaning and contemplate the lessons it imparts to us. As we leave the story of the Pied Piper for now, it's worth noting that the enigma surrounding this mysterious figure and the fate of the abducted children is far from resolved. The legend of the Pied Piper is one that invites us to delve deeper into its secrets and hints at what might come next in the tale. The haunting tune of the piper's pipe still lingers in the air, a spectral melody that leaves a lingering sense of foreboding. The closed cave entrance, with its secrets hidden in the darkness, seems to hold the key to the answers we seek. Will the piper reappear? And if so, for what purpose? What lies within the depths of that mysterious cavern? Furthermore, the true motives of the Pied Piper remain shrouded in ambiguity. Was his revenge against the town solely about the broken promise? Or does a deeper, more complex motivation drive him? Is there a chance for redemption, resolution, or reconciliation in the future? Or is Hamelin forever condemned to bear the weight of its actions? As we continue to unravel the tale of the Pied Piper, we are left with a sense of anticipation, a yearning for answers that may come in the chapters ahead. The legend invites us to explore the depths of its mysteries, offering the possibility of a resolution or a deeper understanding of the enigmatic figure who has left an indelible mark on Hamelin's history. Mm.